Hi guys, what's up? My name's Andrea and I'm a soon-to-be PA student. Yep, that's right, I got into PA school. A lot has happened since my last video. I've gotten 6 interview offers and I've been to 5 interviews. The interviews started in September, went until January, and I've been waitlisted at 2, accepted into 1, declined at another, and then I'm still waiting to hear back from one that I just interviewed with at the end of January. This is my first time applying to PA school. I applied to 12 different programs in California. I believe the average is around 10 that people normally apply to. And today I'm going to be telling you guys the different types of interview questions, the different styles of interviews, and towards the end of the video I'll tell you guys the top 5 questions I got asked during my interviews so that you are more prepared going into your interview. So let's talk about the different styles of interviews. Some schools have one-on-ones, two-on-ones, and group interviews. During the group interview, you guys could be asked the same question and you go one by one answering the question, or you guys can have all different questions to answer. There's also games, activities, essays that you will type up in a time frame and submit it during your interview, and then also video essays. They give you a question or two to record yourself and submit during your interview. Some interviews will be 8 hours long all day, while others will be just an hour and you answer 1 to 2 questions. So you really got to make sure that you're practicing these questions and getting them down. Every school's different, so you got to do your research and make sure that you figure out how their process is going to be beforehand. I would go on the PA forum, and there's also different people that you can reach out to, current students or even alumni. So let's talk about the different questions they might ask. There's MMI questions, behavioral questions, ethical questions, and questions where they're just trying to get to know you. MMI stands for multi-mini interviews, and one of my interviews was MMI style. Every 5 minutes, I would have a new faculty member asking me 3 questions that I had to answer in a timely manner. It was normally one-on-one. These questions are normally random and my least favorite. It ranged from reading a graph and answering 3 questions to asking more traditional questions like what role do PAs play in healthcare. They would post the questions inside of the chat, or they would split screen it, so I was able to read the 3 questions before answering them ahead of time, and they gave me around 2 to 3 minutes to do that. Then I had a couple more minutes to answer those questions. Traditional questions were the most common questions I got asked during my 5 interviews. And definitely the one that I got asked the most was, why do you want to be a PA? You should 100% know this answer, have it memorized, have it down to the T. Another one is, why PA over MD, over NP? Why this program? Why do you want to go here? And then also, what's your biggest weaknesses, your biggest strengths? Next is ethical questions. I've got a couple ethical questions during my interview. And for an example, an ethical question would be, you have a patient who is a Jehovah's Witness patient who needs a blood transfusion but is denying the blood transfusions due to religious beliefs. What do you do in this situation? So these are my favorite types of questions because they are able to see your maturity level, how you think, and how you actually rationalize during situations like this. When you're going to be a PA, you're going to have to deal with these same things. Then there's behavioral questions. Tell me about a time when you had a difficult patient, or tell me about a time where you had to handle a lot of stress or a lot of things going on at once. So this is when your story time takes action. You should have at least 12 stories that you can think of when you have been working or when you volunteered somewhere, and also academically speaking. And these 12 scenarios, these 12 experiences that you've had, you should be able to answer any behavioral question with these 12 different experiences that you can think of. So lastly, there's getting to know you questions. The basic one, like always, tell me a little bit about yourself. There's also, what's your favorite book and why? What's your favorite animal? What's your favorite song and why? And these are normally random. You just have to think about them on the fly, just go. So now I'm gonna go over the top 5 questions that I got asked during my interviews. Why PA? Like I said earlier, 99% of the time, 100% of the time, they're gonna ask why PA. The next one was, why PA over NP or MD? That was the second one. That was the most common. How do you handle stress? I think I got asked this maybe 4 out of 5 or maybe all of the interviews. You know that PA school is going to be very stressful. We all know that. So they want to know how you handle stress. What field are you interested in? Are you interested in dermatology? Are you interested in primary care? They want to get to know you a bit and want to know what you like in the medical field so far. And lastly, what do you believe is your biggest weakness and your biggest strengths? You should have these questions down to the T. You should be able to answer them and not think of them beforehand. You should have them memorized, basically. I wanted to share with you guys a book that I used when I was studying for my interviews. Physician Assistant School Interview Guide, Tips and Trips and Techniques to Impress Your Interviewers. I believe that this really helped because it has over 300 questions and how to answer them for PA school interviews. So that's all I have for you guys for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. If you want to see more PA school videos like this, please subscribe and go ahead and hit that like button.
Oh, the baby girl. You sleepy. Oh, you sleepy girl.